Today, the A189. The A189 is a road that is 21 miles long and starts in Gateshead, just south of the Red Hugh Bridge. It winds its way through Tyneside and eventually dumps its load onto an unsuspecting Moor Farm roundabout. From the edge of Long Benton, the A189 is a dual carriageway, but the bit I want to talk about is the bit in southeast Northumberland, known locally as the Spine Road, or the Northumberland Expressway. Yes, I've seen it expressed as the Northumberland Expressway in documents when I've been doing the research for this video. The road didn't start like this in this section though. Let me take you back. The A189 was set up by the then post-Great War government's Ministry of Transport. The A roads that they wanted would have to be widened from one town to another. They came up with this plan of A roads for major roads and B roads for secondary roads. There are C roads, but we won't go into them in this video. The A road that started as the 189 started at the edge of Newcastle and went to what is now the north-east corner of Cramlington, the Shank House. This road is now mostly the B1505, and the A189 was extended up into Bedlington, and that section is now called the 193. By the 1950s, it was felt that Northumberland Council could take advantage of these new motorways, and a plan was put in place to build lots of them. More of that in another video, but spoiler alert, nothing really got built apart from one tiny section. The A189 would need lots of upgrades for the newly started new town of Cramlington and Ashington's expansion. So 24 years later, they decided to start building a new shining dual carriageway down the eastern side of Cramlington. Known locally as the Spine Road and on documentation and also on signage, you can see it written as the Spine Road, allegedly because it's shaped like a spine. But let's be honest, if my spine was shaped like that, I'd probably have real difficulty in sitting down. For me, the Spine Road of Northumberland would be the A1. Now, if you want to weigh in with a comment of why it's called the Spine Road, feel free. But anyway, onward. The emphasis of building the road was on new employment to the area. The pits had pretty much been finished by this point, so by building it when they did, it would promote access to towns like Ashington and Blythe, including its port, New Biggin, as well as serving the new town of Cramlington and smaller communities in the area. It was constructed in a greenfield alignment to mainly dual carriageway standards and with grade separated junctions. However, at the northern end, it was initially built to a single carriageway standard, which included a bridge across the River Wansbeck. When this article was written that I'm reading, it carried in excess of 30,000 vehicles a day, more than the A1 did, but that has now changed. The A1 now picks up 40,000 vehicles, and this road is about 37,000. Northumberland County Council undertook a £12 million 4-year refit programme on the northern end of the Spine Road, so now that the whole length between the A19 and Woodhorn roundabout right at the top of Ashington is now dual carriageway standard. The final part of this upgrading programme was completed in March 1998, but when I talk to people that I teach and the people that are a little bit older, they can't ever remember it being a single carriageway. They always remember it as a dual carriageway, from the Sleepbone Junction pretty much down all the way to the Bedlington Spiral. These photographs show that that wasn't the case, that it was actually a single carriageway pretty much in a straight line. The original road was constructed in the 1970s. It doesn't really specify when, but it was built in the 1970s. The system included a cycle and a footpath as part of the strategy to create an interurban cycle network in southeast Northumberland, linking up Cramlington and Ashington. The scheme was carried out with a partnership with the County Council and Balfour Beatty. The A189 from Moor Farm interchange could have looked very different to what it is today had the motorways been built. I can't find any evidence of the A19M ever existing or anybody mentioning it, but had the other bits of motorway, the Coast Road motorway, been built, then the A19M might have actually been built after all, with including tunnel upgrades. We didn't get the tunnel upgrades until years later, so maybe they did decide to water the A19 down after all. Moor Farm roundabout has had significant upgrades, with a spiral roundabout lanes and traffic lights added in more recent years. It's due a massive upgrade soon, with 50 to 60,000 vehicles using it daily. A free-flowing interchange is a possibility, or an underpass, or an overpass. This is set to be done along with an A19 upgrade by 2030. But then, this is the government we're talking about, and anything could happen. The rest of the junctions on the Spine Road are unchanged. The second junction is for Northumbria Hospital. There are quite short slip roads on each side, and people can often get caught out here, along with the third junction, which also has very short slip roads. The third junction is access to Cramlington North, and also access to Blythe and Newsham via the A1061. There's no southbound slip road leaving here, as it's covered by the next junction, Three Horseshoes Roundabout. Three Horseshoes Roundabout is a mammoth project when they built the rest of the 189. I'd say it's a roundabout, but really at 160 metres by 280 metres, it's really classified as a gyratory. It links three major roads and is one of the biggest roundabouts in the northeast. In fact, when we were looking around, I couldn't find one much bigger. Of course, there's big motorway junctions down south, but I've never found a roundabout anywhere in the north as big as this roundabout. The new Blythe Relief Road is expected to run from the east side of this roundabout, replacing the existing A1061. This is due for completion, when they finally sign it off, by 2030. The next junction is for Bebbside and Blythe North. This roundabout suffers from heavy congestion most of the time and is expected to get worse. The new Blythe Bebbside railway station is getting built nearby, and a new footbridge to Asda is expected to be built. We'll pass over the River Blythe now and onwards. The next junction is Bedlington Station Spiral. The junction is built to the north of the river here. The A189 used to be a two-way single carriageway until 1998 here. The next junction along is for Camas and Sleepburn. A massive battery factory is expected to get built here, but keeps getting cancelled. No surprise there then. We'll pass over the River Wansbeck, onwards to the roundabout. The next junction is North Seaton Roundabout. A new service station was built here recently, and the roundabout services New Bigging and North Seaton, which is the south end of Ashington. It's expected to get a traffic light upgrade in the near future, but again, watch this space. The last junction on the dual carriageway part is for North Ashington and Woodhorn. It has a mystery exit that seems to lead nowhere on the right hand side, except to a farmer's field. Maybe they plan to build houses here. Well, that's the end of the A189 as it stands today. It could have looked very different if the A19M was built in 1965, but with increasing traffic, you never know what might happen to this road and the A19. If you like what you saw today, why not like and subscribe and watch more videos on the channel of test routes and bad driving. I hope you enjoy your weekend. See you all soon. Bye. Which is nice.